Welcome, and thanks not only for coming, but thanks for your ongoing interest and efforts in your child's success. We know that we play a huge role in this as well, and we think one area that we can do a little bit better job is in the way we communicate about your child's success. We've developed a new report card, and I'd like to take just a minute to walk through it and give you some helpful hints on reading it, understanding what we're trying to communicate. This is the first page of the new formatted report card. It happens to be a second grade report card. All report cards, K through 5, will have the same look. One of the most significant difference is that the targets and standards for each subject area are number 1 in a section on their own, and number 2, those targets and standards obviously change as the child moves from K through the 5th grade. So why a new elementary report card? The first one I've already mentioned, standards across our entire system. Second reason for change is we are shifting to a 1 to 4 scale and away from the old E, M, and D scale used. This 1 to 4 will be used K-12. So it's the same scale that you'll see as your child transitions to middle school. We do see this as a 2-year process, as I said before, and in this process we hope to get your feedback. So if you see things on this new report card that you like, that you believe communicate information in a better way, we need to know about that. The flip side, if you see something that you're not sure or that you believe could be communicated in some better fashion, we need to know that as well. Your feedback is going to be key. With this year, all of the elementary schools are using this new same format. So what's really new? Well, let's first take a look at a couple things that are not going to change. There will be 3 report cards produced and distributed on the same timeline they have in the past. The first on December 2nd, the second on March 14th, and the last one on June 14th. In addition, we are going to continue to report the number of days that a child is either absent or late. There is no change to this portion of the report card. It's this second portion where you start to see significant change. We are expanding the ways that we want to communicate about your child's behaviors and habits, those sorts of things that have an impact, good or bad, on your child's learning. We are going to use 3 marks to communicate around a student's behavior. The marks are C, G, and R. A C stands for consistently, meaning that we are consistently seeing the types of behaviors that we would hope to see in a student. Generally means that we are generally seeing those same behaviors, the things that we believe will help a student succeed. And R means that we are rarely seeing those behaviors and there is some reason for concern. The 3 areas that we are going to report on are manages responsibility, self-directs learning, and communication and working with a group. These are general behavior target descriptors, and we would encourage parents to learn much more. You can do so by either asking your teacher or the principal, or check them out on the website. Lastly, teacher comments are always going to be important. There is no scale or no target descriptor that can fully give you the kind of information you deserve around your child. So a teacher comment box is going to be at the end of every section to include behavior. There is no substitute for teachers' comments and your communication with your child's teacher, whether we're talking behaviors or academics. The second significant change to the new format is that we have a section for each subject area. Within each of these subject areas are listed the standards or targets for that area for that grade level. As mentioned before, each standard will be assessed on a 1 to 4 scale. This is something that deserves a little bit closer look. Here's a quick comparison of the two scales. On the left, the E, M, and D for exceeding, meeting, and developing. It's not that there's anything wrong with these terms or that there are three levels. The problem has always been that it was loosely defined at best and never consistently applied. Each teacher had to determine the real meaning for that level for themselves. With a shift to the 1 to 4 scale and different terms, it is not the 1 through 4 that's important. What is important is that these levels either have been or are being defined for every target. It's the definition of these levels that makes this an important change. Here's an example. This is a second grade English language arts rubric. It is for the target. I can write opinion pieces on a topic or book stating an opinion with supporting reasons. Under each of the 4 levels, you can see that there are 4 areas that the teacher is going to focus on. The first is focus. Second, elaboration. Third, transitions. And fourth, conclusion. The expectations for these 4 areas increase as the child moves from 1 to 4. This is the most important change. It is not the 1 to 4, it's the definition of 1 to 4. The definition of these 4 levels are important for 2 reasons. First, it allows for consistency. A 2 is a 2 and a 4 is a 4, regardless of the teacher and regardless of the school. Secondly, the definitions allow us to describe the progression of learning. It is to be expected that as a child is asked to do a new task, such as writing opinion pieces in the 2nd grade, that early in the year they will begin at the 1 to 2 level. It is new to the child. The teacher will continue to provide instruction and practice. As the child gets more of that practice and more of that instruction, we should expect the child to move to the 3 to 4 level by the end of the school year. The final piece that is new to this report card format is something we call the progress indicators. If I, as a parent, receive a report card from my child and I see that they are getting 1s and 2s in various target areas, how am I supposed to know if they are doing all that they should to move to the 3 to 4 level by the end of the school year? It is the progress indicator that will provide me that information. We're going to use 3 symbols: the plus symbol, the equal symbol, and the minus symbol. The plus means that significant progress is being made. The child is progressing faster than we would expect. An equal sign means that there is steady progress being made. This is what we would hope for all children. Or a minus sign meaning minimal progress is being made. There's a reason for concern. So, if I have a 2nd grader and he is receiving a 1 or a 2 in the 1st trimester, but the progress indicator is an equal sign, I have no reason to be concerned. That means that he is doing very well and is on track to master the target. On the flip side, my 2nd grader may begin the year at a higher level than to be expected. Maybe they're getting a 3 on the very first report card. But if the progress indicator is a minus, I have reason to be concerned. My child is not progressing, not showing the growth that they should. So that's it. That's the new format. Again, this is a 2-year process, and I hope you help us refine it and make it as good as it can be. Our intent is and will be to give you more information concerning your child's progress. Also, to give you the kind of information that helps you help your child. And lastly, to make sure that information is consistent across our entire system. I hope you have found this to be helpful. If you'd like any more information about this report card, the standards or learning targets for each of the subject areas, or the rubrics designed to assess those targets, please ask your teacher or your principal, or go right onto the website. Thank you for your attention. Thanks for your ongoing support for your child, your child's teacher, your school, and the Beaverton School District.